Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about a brand new creator who's not really big at all, but has gone viral for like literally all the wrong reasons. I've been talking about this a lot on my channel, about the influencer culture and the dangers of it and the craziness that these women are on here talking about weird shit, trying to get people to divorce their husbands in the comment sections about like, oh, your husband didn't pick up his socks, divorce that bastard. Like, this is the epitome right now. This girl making this video is the culmination of all that in this point of life where we are in society, where social media is making shit like this and women get on camera and make dumb videos like this. And so let's talk about chaos with Camille. Let's go. Okay, so this is Chaos with Camille. She has 72,000 followers, and she probably didn't have that many as of about a week ago. When did she do this video? In my opinion, she's saying the quiet part out loud, or she's just creating rage bait because this is a way to get followers. And we all know this is a way to get followers, right? Doherty Dozen makes rage bait. People love rage bait for some reason, but it's not sustainable for long-term growth, okay? But some people will make shit up or say stupid things or put videos out about their children or do things that are really embarrassing because it gets them views. It's called rage bait, and it does grow channels. Okay, people are looking at you with disgust most of the time, or you're a train wreck, and they don't want to look away, and so they'll follow the story. So many times this has happened, but almost every single time, it's never had sustainability, never been sustainable, never. That woman that claimed her kids were kidnapped from the Michaels, or were going to get kidnapped, that was all a lie. She did that to get social media clout, and now she's completely canceled forever in a million years, and she got charged. Right? You got that lady out there who was poisoning in Australia, who's poisoning her child to get TikTok views and likes. There's no end to this. But in this case, it's a little bit different. It's kind of low stakes, but this is where we are as a society, where influencers have been feeding people a steady diet of fakery and bullshit for the past 10 years that people honestly believe that that's the life that they deserve. Okay, I'm not saying you don't deserve a good life. I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you, this shit is not reality. Humans are humans. You're not going to have a perfect Instagram marriage. It doesn't exist. And more often than not, it doesn't even exist in their worlds. Very rarely do they actually have good marriages, anybody on the internet. If you can get a camera and film your entire life and do that, you are a selfish, narcissistic, psychotic douchebag. Okay? The people who can do that, there's something wrong in your brain, and there's no way that they're healthy. Do you know what I mean? There's no way they're healthy parents. There's no way they're healthy spouses. They cannot be. I think that there's got to be, the DSM-5 needs to catch up and put something in paper, like the main character syndrome or whatever it is, that talks about people like this who can share their entire lives with zero humility, with zero embarrassment, and be like getting out there and saying a bunch of bullshit to make money doing it. Because again, I don't think that you can do this full time and be an influencer full time and a parent and a good parent. You know what I'm saying? And so Camille is the culmination of that in this video, because before this video, which is right here, she's pulling in 35,000, and I think even lower numbers than that. This is probably more indicative of what she was pulling in: 3,400, 3,100, 3,300. And then as you get to the viral video that went super viral with 4 million, you start ramping it because people want to go back and see who she really was before this happened. But then they stopped at about here, right? Because like, okay, it's bullshit. She's a loser. So she does this video and goes make it viral. So let's watch this video and snark the shit out of it, because I think this is one of the most dangerous things on social media right now.
I don't know if I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me.
Why say that in a video?
Pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't.
So imagine getting on the internet, first of all, being a total douchebag like this lady. Not telling your friends and family first, but telling TikTok first, right? The wide world of strangers on the internet, not the people that you love or that are important to you and your family. You tell TikTok strangers first. Already we don't like her, right? Can we all agree? She's a dumbass? Okay.
I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where, all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been
I feel like
for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years.
What is the thing? If you can't say the thing, then shut the fuck up, because it's not a thing. If you're like, okay, this is what my marriage has been missing for the 10 years since we've been married, and then say the thing. Look, he's inattentive. He doesn't see me as a person. He abuses me. This, that, and the other thing. Like, what is it that's missing? A spark of some kind? Because if you think you're going to take 3 kids and be a divorced lady and go find a spark somewhere else, you're not. The spark time has passed. Okay, it's not going to happen anymore. That shit has passed for you. That ship has sailed. It's the Titanic. Bye.
There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love.
And there it is. This is why the internet's up in flames. Because she just said, I love him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's perfect in every way. But I'm divorcing him because of what? Because social media has taught this woman that either this video is what she needs to make to go viral, or she honestly believes that because she doesn't have a fairy tale wedding like she sees, or a fairy tale marriage like she sees on social media, that something must be missing. This is the danger, guys. There's something deeper about this whole thing that we rarely talk about, and we need to put more value in it.
Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person.
That asshole. What an asshole with the loyalty and shit. What a douchebag. So you imagine sitting in a video and being like, look, he's this, and this. A million things that a lot of women out there who would love to have, okay, who are searching for that. And they're looking at this woman like, are you out of your mind? It's always the grass is greener, right? The grass is greener where you water it. That's where it's greener. But the grass is greener for this lady. Where was I? Anyway, I just feel like she's been fed this line of bullshit. And there's so many women out there who would want this in their life. And a lot of people living in truly abusive relationships and truly unloving relationships. And she's out there having the best of all. And she's like, you know what? It's just not good enough. And I think that's honestly because social media has fed us a lie the whole time.
And that is probably the reason. That is the reason why I have not left. Okay.
Oh. You haven't left because you have a good husband? I guess that's a good reason. I don't know. Some women out there on the internet would be like, no, that's not a good enough reason. Does he buy you Mercedeses? Uh-huh. No, does it get you Cartier bracelets? Right? Like, does he not do those things? It's about you, girlfriend. Yes, Queen Slay.
Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always happen are not met, right?
So explain it. What do you mean? Do you not know where the little button is? What do you mean? Teach him then. Communicate with your husband about what matters to you then. Why I know a lot of women are going to be upset with me for pinpointing that. I think this is more of a woman problem than anything else on the internet. I think this is a very, and I don't know if I should put a poll in there, but like comment section, am I right or wrong? That this is more of a women-centric problem that we see on the internet than it is men.
Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I'm 32 years old.
And there it is, folks. It's over. It's giving, I'm trying to find myself. I gotta find myself.
I am a mom of 3. And I still don't know who I am. So, for me...
What does that mean? What do you mean you don't know who you are? You're 32 and you don't know who you are? Come on. Don't be so stupid. I think what this means, if you translate it into selfish twat speak, it's, I need different taint. I need different D. That's what it translates into. That's the only way. That's, if you have a good man who's a good dad and a good husband, the only thing is like, I didn't explore enough in my youth. She's been married since she's 22. Okay, she didn't have her hoe phase. That's what I'm hearing. She wants a hoe phase. And her husband, at this point, he's still with her, and I'm spoiler, like, is a cuck for allowing her to get on the internet, spout this bullshit, and stay with her. Okay, I think that's the problem. That her husband is probably a beta cuck male. Okay, that doesn't actually take charge, and she's looking for a dude that's going to take charge, and she's unwilling to say that. Because he's a good guy, but he's also not a guy that takes control because she obviously wears the pants. And she's upset that she married young and didn't get her hoe face.
Like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am. Is it really
And if
fair?
yourself is being a hoe, Can we stop putting that on the internet? If there's all these women out there doing OnlyFans and bops or whatever they're called, they're like, if that's who you are, is to be a hoe, the world is dead. Okay, we're in danger. We're going down.
Because I don't know who I am. I'm figuring that out.
And it's just such a stupid phrase because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean anything.
Every day. But the reason why I wanted to share this on here in the first place is we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary. We're going to Mexico, to Cabo, for our 10-year anniversary trip. And we're rewriting our vows. We never wrote vows in the first place. We didn't.
So you're not rewriting vows, you're writing vows. Your vows are like, when I married you, I was not a hoe, and now I want to be a hoe. And you are not the hoe guy that I'm looking for. Marriage was garbage.
Had vows when we got married. And I'm struggling to write my vows.
Use AI.
Like, to write a vow. And I think that's because I still feel very unsure in our relationship. The one thing that we finally talked about this past week together, because it's just been something that since we kind of talked about it and I brought it up and we committed to change and we committed to working on our relationship, I started my own business, he quit his job, roles have changed, life has been crazy, and we just haven't come back to talking about this subject.
I see what's going on. So he was the breadwinner, now she's the breadwinner, and she started a business and she's getting a little bit of fame online, and all of a sudden she doesn't know who she is. Right? Because she gets attention probably from people. And so she's like, holy cow, I'm getting attention from people. I don't know who I am. I should discover that. Like, do you see what's going on here? She's getting attention and everything is changing. This type of person, you give her a bunch of money and attention, she completely becomes someone new. She gets Botox, she gets fillers, she gets fake tits, fake ass. She's the kind of person that is going to be like the Tara Henderson, the Aaron Williams of the world. She's going to try her best to do all the thing. And when that starts to happen for her, she will throw everything away. Like this top comment. So it's true. A man will sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. And so you can hear it in what she's saying. I'm translating because it's influencer speak, but she's getting a little bit of attention. It's starting to work for her. She's the breadwinner now. She doesn't need her husband. And so she's like, look, I don't need him anymore. I want to go have fun and be a hoe. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
I brought it up again because I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you, like writing these vows is hard. I don't feel like we're any closer. I don't feel like anything has really changed since I brought this up 6 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever. And I want to work on our relationship. Like at the end of the day, of course, I could get a divorce and try to go find the love that I'm craving with somebody else.
And there you go. That's all she's craving. She's craving strange dick. That's what she wants. I'm craving an adventure and a guy who's not boring. But can I just be real with everybody? I'm sorry, but this is life. We get 10 years of marriage. It's pretty successful. And at the end, you're like, I just need different D. Like at that point, maybe have a conversation about having a relationship because you've got a good man. Right? And if it's just about having sex with extra people, I mean, I feel like, damn, man, it's not love that you're looking for. It's really not, because I don't know what she's looking for. It doesn't exist, man. We are humans. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And if it does, it's very, 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 very rare. Okay? But you can build up a mutual respect and love, and adoration over years that ends up being like, when you look back, you're like, man, I'm glad I'm stuck with this. Man, I'm glad I did. I look at my wife sometimes, I'm like, man, what a snack. But I'm also like, 18 years of this, and I'm looking back, I'm like, what hard work this was, and I'm glad we worked it. Because a mutual respect and adoration, it's really, I think these women just feel like that there's a spark out there that they're missing, or there's some kind of like Hollywood romance, or again, Instagram love that they see other people putting out there that they think that they deserve and want and need, when it really doesn't exist. I think all of us here, all of you that are watching me, and who are married and been married a long time, can we be real? Look, marriage is hard, it's awesome, and it's hard, okay? And the more work you put into it, the more mutual respect you have each other, I think the longer and the longevity of your marriage will be there if you have a mutual respect. But it's the spark isn't always there, right? Except you go to a wedding, your wife dresses up real nice, like, damn, those moments. There's moments, but it's never going to be constant sparks and fire. It's not. And again, we've been fed this by social media, and this woman is the embodiment of it by doing this video. If you're unhappy with your husband, then, I mean, I don't think you should get divorced just if you're unhappy. That's a stupid reason to break up your entire family. But there's sex therapists, there's all these other things you can do, and it sounds like you're not trying to do it, and you should, for the sake of your family,
But that's going to come with its own hardships, its own complications, and ones that I'm not willing to take on, right? I love Ryan. He is the best father, okay? I just need to learn how to explain what I need from him in our relationship, and he needs to be able to give that. And
why are you not having this conversation with him? Why are you putting it on a TikTok video? You absolute moron.
To be doing the same for him. So
Ryan, and I know I'm saying from the other side, but like this is, for me, grounds to run. This woman is going to end up cheating on you, dude. Like, she's the breadwinner now. She doesn't need you. If she hasn't already, she's going to end up doing it. And so, again, I know I'm saying from the other side, run, because Ryan's a good guy, and according to her, but she's not a good woman. She's a douchebag. And so, Ryan, for your own safety, if you're 32 years old now or 33 or whatever the case may be, maybe it's time for you to go find your happiness, because she is not it for you. She's terrible. She's a terrible person. And you should run for the hills. 100%.
Can both, like, in 10 years from now.
And like, Ryan's buddies are going to see this. This went mega viral. The family, the friends, Ryan's parents, Ryan's brothers and sisters, if he has any, his friends and family, they're all seeing this on the internet, and it is embarrassing for him. She is embarrassing her husband. Okay? And if it was the other way around, you guys would be upset.
10 years, look back and say, like, we put in the work and we finally have the marriage and the relationship that we have always wanted, and that is what I want. I guess the reason why I'm coming on here, and if you've made it this long, that's really nice. What have you done in your relationship to get to that point? If you have been in a place where we are and have worked through it and have found things that have brought you closer or that have given you that relationship, like, I'm just, I guess, asking for advice. Like, what have you done in order to get there, and what has worked for you? We're
Therapy, asshole.
Honestly willing to try anything. We have done therapy and counseling before.
Clearly you didn't do go do a different one. Try a sex therapist. I'm serious. Go get something, ignite some kind of, like, what's that thing you do, like the kink? What's it called? It's like this. You each answer a bunch of questions about, like, the fun side of marriage. You know what I mean? And what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to talk about. Because there's some couples that aren't willing to have these conversations about the weird things that go on in their brain and in their hearts that they feel ashamed about. Some you should be ashamed about, okay? Like farts and stuff, don't say that. But, like, there's some, just how it is sometimes, okay? Especially with me. I'm a vanilla guy. I'm not trying to be out there being like, yo, let's try these things. But these quizzes, I forget what the name of it is. But you can take a quiz and you'll answer a question, and if her answer matches, it'll share it. And if it doesn't, it won't. Right? So are you willing to do this, this, and this, and this? And you say yes, and then she says yes. It'll tell you that you're both compatible in that thing. I forget what it's called. Mojo quiz, I think. And
it was fine, honestly.
Was it? Doesn't sound fine.
Like my favorite thing, but I'm willing to try that again. And I don't know. Books, podcasts, like what have you guys done that has worked for you?
I don't know. Follow influencers and see what they say.
To get your marriage to where you want it to be. I just don't.
Here's what you shouldn't do. Make a TikTok about it and share it to the world before you share it to your husband and everybody else. You dumbass and dumb face, biscuit head.
Okay, we've been married for 10 years and we've kind of, like, been at this same point the whole time.
What?
I just don't want to look back.
What, the honeymoon phase? That sounds fun to me.
10 years from now and not have tried my best to.
I'll translate that for you. In 10 years, I'm going to be 42, and I'm going to be a bucket of scabs. And so I want to make sure I get my hoe phase in while I still have my youth. That's what I'm here. I don't want to waste 10 more years on this butt crack who's a nice guy and a good father when I can be out there hoeing around.
Have this, like, relationship that we both want and that we deserve and that our kids deserve to see in us.
So so you have a good man who is driven and very awesome, a great father. And just, you love him. And so what do you deserve past that? What are you looking for? Is he not making enough money? What are you looking for? Is he bald? Us bald guys are good. We can be good. Okay, we're good dudes sometimes.
I'm kind of being vulnerable and posting this.
Yeah, we know, you dumbass. You put it on TikTok, you stupid moron, and you embarrass your husband and his family. And your kids. Which, by the way, she's an exploiter. So we're going to get to that.
just like to know, like, what has worked for you and what advice, I guess, you would have for me.
She didn't expect this shit to go mega viral, but it went mega viral. And all the big influencers all over TikTok and all over Instagram and all over Twitter, X, are calling her out, rightly so. Like, the biggest creators are calling her out for putting this video, and she deserves it, right? So again, it's true that a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family and a woman will sacrifice her family for happiness. That's Kira right in a nutshell. I mean, it definitely happens from both parties. Men and women are both guilty of this, and I agree with that. It's true. It is a little bit different, though. Men aren't looking for happiness. They're looking for booty. Okay, where she's looking for happiness, a different man that's gonna bring in the warm, tender, Instagram-like feelings that she sees all over the world that doesn't exist. Because we're human. She'll never admit it, but she already cheated, someone says. 12,000 likes. Bingo. He didn't do it for her. She needs something new. It's sad it took this long. Poor guy. On the 100%, she just went through this and she had the exact same words, but when the truth came out, it was another guy she barely knew, and well, thankfully, common sense kicked in. I didn't even think of this. It sounds like she's adventuring out to new business and meeting new people and might have met a new person. And like Kira did with Preston, is trying to sabotage it by putting out these like soft launches of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I like the sparks. It sounds like she's already met somebody, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes forward. Make sure to go to Cabo first, though, or make sure to go to Cabo first. Your story is my story. Then 20 years later, it turned out I was just bored and immature. Worst mistake of my life, divorcing a good man. Thanks for the honesty, Lacey, because that's honestly, you don't see that a lot on Instagram and on social media, and I appreciate that. Someone says, I love a happy ending. It's not for her. Is your boyfriend happy with the decision? It's her husband of 10 years. You are a wife. You are a mother of 3. That's who you are. It's your obligation to work on what's missing, not cut and run. Don't be the one who broke her family chasing something that you don't even know if it exists. The love you're craving is in your home with your family. Don't let the world or friends tell you different. Counseling is always not so great for one thing being told they don't want to hear. Yeah, that's what she's like. I didn't really like the counseling part of it because she didn't want to hear it. Hope he finds someone he deserves. Burn. Who's the new guy? Yep. This is a good comment. Communication. Redate each other. Maybe therapy. Grass isn't always greener. Don't go looking for 20% when you have 80% at home. God, please don't ever put me in a position where my wife is asking TikTokers to save our marriage. She liked that comment. So here's a comment. 39, and this again, another Instagram. This I think is an indication of Instagram. 39, mama 3, and I got a divorce a couple months ago after 17 years of marriage. I couldn't take the neglect any longer. I was tired of begging for the bare minimum, tired of the lack of communication, tired of not being important or seen. He's the good guy. So her friends and everybody thinks he's the good guy. And he is a good person. Everyone is mad because I left such a great person, but I couldn't stand the thought of being neglected for the second half of my life. It's hard. Even if I'm the one who wanted out, divorce is still hard. I'm still working through it. Sounds like, again, another person just missed a hoe phase and they want their hoe phase. Because Instagram and social media and TikTok are showing us shit that doesn't exist. And she's like, neglect how? Like he just never talked to you ever again? Because I would understand that. Like neglect how? Was he not romancing you anymore? I don't understand, because again, we are human beings, people. Those 17 years of marriage and you want it to be like the first time you met? That doesn't exist, and the shit that you're being fed on social media is the reason you think that should exist. So here she expands a bit. It is hard, and I got tired of being dismissed constantly, and I get that. That is a neglectful situation. I get that. If you're just being dismissed, not being taken seriously, I get that. I would be pissed too. Nothing I asked, big or small, was important, ever. Nothing that ever happened was taken care of unless I did it. See, okay, that's a little bit different than what this lady's saying. If he's a perfect husband, then what the hell are you looking for? All these guys are like, does she think I'm better or something? Do you listen to Coldplay? To be honest, it sounds like you're struggling with yourself, not your husband. I feel like it happens a lot to women that get married and have children young. If you found a good man, hold on to him, because they are super hard to find. That's 22,000 likes on that. She's going to learn. No one can make you happy but yourself. Very, very important. And no, that's not true. We should seek happiness in marriage and love and the things that we're doing, and we should seek to be desired. And I understand women and the desire kind of goes away. And if you feel like you're just kind of roommates, that sucks. But there are ways to do it. And this isn't one of them, though. Making TikToks asking strangers to save your marriage and then going viral for it. So then she goes viral. 4 million views on that video, okay? It's the most viewed video she'll ever have, okay? That she'll ever have. And then she does this video, which I can't play the music because again, copyright strike, but basically when you post a video opening up about your marriage issues and 700,000 people see it and 8K people comment. And she's like, cool. And so that's it. This is all you need to know about this woman. She's not seeking marriage advice. She's not doing this to be like, what should I do? She's doing it because she wants to go viral on social media. And this is really exciting time for her. She's so happy that this happened, but she's not going to like it because it's not going to be long-term success, because you are now a villain, Camille. You're a villain. You've become a villain even though you don't think in your heart you are. And maybe you're really not, but you are. Okay, you're a villain now. And that is not going to be long-term sustainable career growth for social media. Your business is going to suffer for it. Your family is going to suffer for it because you went on the internet and were a total douchebag and you are selfish beyond all reasoning and understanding. If your husband is reading this, get out before it's too late, bro. Find real happiness and enjoy life. No, find a woman who appreciates what you bring to the table. Yeah. Hi, babe. Just coming here, opening this comment doesn't get lost in the wickets of the other video. Just want to say that your vulnerabilities, shut up. To the amazing husband that she clearly doesn't appreciate, know your worth because your wife is using you for stability, not because she loves and appreciates you. That's a harsh reality for a lot of dudes out there, is your wife using you for stability. And if that's the case, that's got to hurt. Like, men have feelings too. I know men, for the majority of marriages, are kind of like the ones that shut down, and we are kind of, and I'll give you that. We have different roles, and men are the shittier side of that, but not all men, okay? That's why men often will remember moments where they've been hit on, like in public, or like someone said, nice shirt, and that man will that is now his favorite shirt forever. We very rarely get comments where we're like, hey, you're a good man, or a wife will say, I appreciate all the hard work you've put in, and all that. It's very rare for us. We don't necessarily need it, but when it happens, holy shit does it hit. But women, technically on the other side, they need the constant verification that you're the most amazing person in the world, and if you don't get it, you're like, clearly you're unhappy. So we are two different people, and I get that. But like, have you ever told your husband that you're proud of him? Have you ever done that? Have you ever given him a compliment? But yeah, but the comment is, but then 99% of them are trashing you. Yep. Please give him the kids when you split. I'm not here to hate. What this should teach us is that we all struggle when we're not alone. And I get that too. That is a part of it. It's not about views to me. It's just that you had many people either can relate or give you advice. Let's just try to see the positive. The issue here is the social media aspect of it. And that, again, you're thinking that something exists that doesn't exist, and you're not going to find it now. That's for sure. People were not even trying to comprehend what you were asking. No, we got it. She had a perfect life that a lot of people search for and who want, and it's not good enough for her, and it's called entitlement, and nobody effing likes it. Also, she's probably found someone else. So she gets very happy that she goes viral, right? And then she does this.
You are so incredibly brave for coming on here and talking about this and being open and willing to share your story so that you can help other women and get the advice that you're looking for. The problem is not you, it's that you don't have the right tools. You are beautiful. I bet you and your husband are going to be so happy with each other in 10 years, and I wish you the best. Wow. Thank you, Miss Knuckles. That was really nice.
So that's not, so here, this is a really, really, really telling video about what she is and what she's looking for and the validation she seeks. Clearly her husband doesn't give her validation, okay? And that's his fault. If he knows his wife's love language is validation and being loved and understood, then you should really research into that shit, and you should do better. I'm not saying the husband is perfect here. And if your wife is looking for something and she has communicated it to you and you're not offering it to her or looking or trying your best to do those things, then you're failing, okay? And if your wife isn't doing the same thing for you, she is also failing, okay? This is a two-way street. Each person in the couple needs to give 100%. It is not 50-50. Okay. And so she's out here like capitalizing on the rage bait that she created. She loves this so much. She's not actually concerned about any of that stuff. She wasn't actually. She just wanted to go viral. Okay. And doing a video like this where she's like, what she just said there is what she's looking for people to say to her. And that's not what they said. They said, it's because nothing will make you happy. You are incredibly selfish and you sacrifice your family for a dopamine fix. The problem is not your husband. The problem is you. So why don't you fix yourself? That's the comment she's been getting. But she's like, maybe you should be nice. Maybe you should shut up and stop putting your marriage problems on TikTok. Okay, because you're adding to the noise and the problem of it all. Help other women do what exactly? Good question. Do you see how she's being attacked? Maybe she's speaking up so other women who are afraid to admit they're in the same situation. What? Having a good husband? Damn, sorry for your loss. Are you serious? Like, it's like you didn't even watch the video. The people are upset because she said, my husband is a great man, a great father. He's good. He's dedicated and loving, but he's not good enough. And so what? That's the problem. Ladybug is it. Ladybug's the problem with the internet. She's the one that's going to go in the comment section of women who are like, my husband to pick up socks and say, divorce his ass. That's what we're dealing with right now. You're not alone. You're not alone. We all have good husbands. You're not alone. Shut the up, you dumbass. Accountability? Nah. And she liked that comment. Again, do you know that she's creating rage bait because she's liking comments and responding to hate? This isn't someone who is upset that she went viral for all the wrong reasons. She's absolutely giddy with it. So it's not, she wasn't taking it seriously like she doesn't take her marriage seriously. She just did this and capitalized and grabbed onto it, and she thinks it's going to be for long-term success, and I promise you it won't. Especially now that you're on my radar, because I'm going to follow your shit and make sure I dismantle everything you put on the internet. Women are so catty. I'm so glad I understand women like that. I think so many women struggle with what you were going through. What? Having a good husband? Like, what do you mean struggle? Struggle with what? A good life? What the f*** is wrong with these people? This is wrong with, like, you have a good life. You struggle? Holy crap, man. There are people f***ing dying. Holy shit. Being a wife and a mother is a blessing, but we often lose ourselves. No. You gain yourselves. You gain your identity. When you are a wife and a mother, and you have children especially, your new identity is a mother. And that is amazing. And the fact that the internet has comments like this, we lose ourselves. No. You have gained an identity as a mother, which is one of the most important roles, if not the most important role, even over fathers, okay, in the world. Of all of society, the mother is the linchpin of society. And someone makes a comment like, we lose ourselves. What did you lose when you had kids? What, you can't go hoe anymore? Is that what you lost? That you can't just do whatever the you please at all times because now you have kids that rely on you? Because that's what's wrong with the internet. That comment right there, that's what's wrong. Like, give me a break. We lose ourselves because you had children? No, you gained yourself. You gained a family. Mothers are the most amazing people. Good mothers, by the way. Like, what do you mean you lose yourself? Like, shut the up with that bullshit. Man, that makes me upset. We want strong connections with our partner. We want a bond beyond intimacy. What does that mean? Again, what does it mean beyond intimacy? Like, you want to be connected to me like an avatar? Like, we put our tails together and fly through the clouds? What do you mean? The does that mean? And maybe that's me just showing me being a dude. And because that's what my wife came to me and said, I want a bond beyond intimacy. Like, what in the does that mean? A bond beyond intimacy would be a natural thing that just happens with somebody. It is not something that you can get. You can't buy it. You can't work on it and practice it. It's something that naturally exists. That's what to me is. And so if that's not what you have, you're not going to get it. Take a weekend away and do something that neither of you have ever done before. Go dancing, go clubbing, meet some other strange taints. How about that? Oh my gosh. This is what I'm talking about when I cover this type of content of these of the unnatural shit that we're being shown that doesn't exist. This is so dangerous. And that comment is everything encapsulated right there. I think it's easy to blast a guy for saying this, but it's true. He's not wrong. Many men, including myself, have this happen to them. In 20-year marriage, and my wife at the time up and left me and my kids. She kept saying I was a great husband, and I was. I had full custody of my kids while she went and explored and tried to find something that wasn't there. I eventually did find someone who was great for me. My ex has been dating a woman-beating man, and my kids don't like him. Grass isn't always greener. And I think the reality is, too, that when this does happen, when a woman leaves a dude and he's hurt for it, this is just the woman's side, he'll end up finding someone that sees the goodness in him and that he's already been a good dad, and like he'll find a good woman. But it's going to be really hard for a woman to find a good man after. Do you agree with me on that one? Like, there are a lot of women out there who are a little older who are willing to take on that responsibility and are amazing, and they've been waiting for a good man. And then, but the women, they're not, those guys, they're already married in successful relationships. They don't. If you're 32, 42 looking for a dude, if there's a 42-year-old man who's single out there, there's a reason for that. Okay, some people don't want advice, they want to be told what they want to hear. Boom. So she triples, doubles, quadruples down.
I posted a video yesterday talking about how I asked my husband for a divorce 6 months ago. We are still together now. It has over 900,000 views and 10,000 comments. And basically the root of what I was trying to do in that video was explain that we came from that place 6 months ago where I wanted a divorce. Now
she's double backing, or she's backtracking, because she's like, no guys, no, we're still good. I just wanted to do that because I wanted to go viral. She's like, no, it's not the case. No, that's too late for you now, Camille. Too late. You can't just backtrack. I just wanted something. No, you didn't, because now you're talking about the numbers on the video. That's all you care about.
I still feel like a lot more needs to happen, and I was asking for advice on like what people have done who have been in similar situations, and like asking for
good marriage situations. What have you guys done in good marriage situations where you have a good marriage and a good husband? Like, how have you overcome that? And people are tearing her out for a good reason. We're upset for a good reason, because what do you mean? How do you overcome that? Overcome a good marriage? What the what? You don't get it, Camille.
On how we can get to a better place. At first, when it first started getting a lot of views, the comments were so good. Like, so good. I have notes app in my phone, right?
They weren't good.
right now of like all of the advice people were giving. Everyone saying like, oh my gosh, this was us 10 years ago and now we're in such a better place, like we finally found that love. Basically what I was trying to convey,
the influencer inflection, she's got it down, she's got that part, and the hands.
My husband is perfect, like he is perfect, okay, but our relationship is not perfect, okay?
So that sounds like a you problem there, weirdo.
And so how do we get like our relationship to be that like passionate, lovey, so in love, obsessed with each other? Which
that has to come naturally. And it sounds like you're a boring piece of raisins. That's what it sounds like. You guys are both cardboard people. And it's like that. It would be natural if it was going to happen. You can't fake that, guys. You can't. It's not something that's like, okay, I'm going to force myself to be passionately in love with this person. You are or you're not. The end. And sometimes living in a decent marriage with a good husband and a good wife, and you are together and you got it and you're living and going along doing good things. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't exist. And if it does, it's very, 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 very rare. Okay? And the shit that you see it all the time, it doesn't exist in that. Those influencers are putting that shit out in the world, in the universe. They're not in good relationships. And that's the problem, guys. We got to live in reality. And the reality is, it doesn't exist.
A lot of the advice, too, is just saying we're in a hard stage of life, which we are. We have 3 kids. We just are navigating, like, a shift of roles because he quit his job and my business is, like, the business we're working on. So it's a little confusing, right? But, like, the overall...
That's the red flag that's going on in this, that we're seeing vein through this. She's starting a business. He's no longer making the money. She's now the breadwinner, and she's now feeling entitlement, or she's met somebody along these business.
Wanted to say here is one, like, we are not getting a divorce. So if you didn't watch the video all the way through, that's on you.
I watched it all the way. You didn't say anything like that.
Yes, my husband is perfect in a lot of ways, and perfect is not the right answer, like the right thing to say, but he is such a good person. And of course I'm not going to get on here and air his dirty laundry.
You already did. Of course I'm not going to say anything. It's too late. It's too late, lady. Too fucking late.
Or mine for that matter, but like I was more trying to say it's not him that's lacking, it's like our connection and our relationship and what we can do to get that to a better place. Anyways.
No, what you did was, I'm considering divorcing my husband because he's a good guy. That's what we all heard, because that's what you said. You dumbass.
Most of them. There are also some wacky comments, but I've also gotten a lot of messages, and I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who is like giving advice, taking the time to write out comments or message me and say they are willing to talk to me. I've also had so many people that I know personally, which that was another kind of thing that I didn't expect to happen, because TikTok is kind of my safe space where like... Why is
TikTok a safe space, but your husband and your marriage is not? Right? TikTok's your safe space. A bunch of strangers on the internet. That's your safe space. Come on.
I don't expect people to watch my videos that know me, I guess. So maybe that video was a little bit shocking to people who know us, because...
I hope you're getting berated in the family chat that you're not part of. You know what I mean?
Or like in, like, I don't know. We probably look like we don't have our own issues, but everybody does. So anyway.
Oh, no. We know you have issues, and it's all you. You keep saying we, but you're the issue. You're the problem. You're the problem, it's you, as Taylor Swift would say.
There have been a lot of people who have reached out that I know that have thanked me for sharing and said that they're in similar situations or offered advice. So I'm super grateful.
I'd be like, you're in a similar situation, so you have a great husband? Sorry for your loss. Again, I think about this for a second. That's what people are upset about. If he was a dickhole who treated you shittily, then we'd be like, yeah, girl, do what you got to do. There would be no conversation here. Nobody would care about your video. It wouldn't get 4 million views. It's that you said your husband's a great man and good husband and father, and you're like, but I need to be a hoe. That's what we heard. That's what we're hearing.
For that. And basically kind of what we've decided, since this has kind of gone viral, is like we're reading through the comments together, and like if something resonates with us, we're like, yeah, that's probably something we need to work on. And there's other times that we read through and we're like,
sounds healthy for a marriage.
That's not true about us. But it's kind of been healing in its own way. We've talked about a lot more things since I posted it.
His friends don't talk to him anymore. They make fun of him now. They have a separate group chat without him.
It's been good. So there are a lot of things that I'm going to share probably in the next like couple weeks of like things people have recommended, and we're going to try them. There's like a book list that I have in my notes app of books.
She's so happy she went viral with this.
And I will just try to like keep being open and honest on here. This all happened because I started posting videos every single day of just when I opened the TikTok app. and just talking about like what was on my mind, what I was doing, what I was going through, whatever. And this was part of like my day. I was having a hard time processing like writing vows to each other for our 10-year anniversary, and just decided to get on and talk about it, and here we are. So
here we are. I'm the villain of the day. Yeah, douche mom of the day.
Thank you. If you watched this one all the way to here, thank you. And I will just try to like keep posting things.
You're a wanker. Okay, here's a copy. Having 10,000 people comment on your marriage is wild, and you put it out there. You could have deleted it just as fast as you put it up, but you didn't. I wonder why. Let me explain this for everyone that lives in La La Land as well. This woman is bored and seeking validation on social media. This is the core of her marital issue. By her own words, the man is perfect and has done nothing wrong and treats her like a queen. This man can never match the validation this woman gets from social media. She will never be satisfied with him. She is bored and she needs chaos to thrive. This woman is a perfect example of the expansion model, discovered by top psychologists. I don't think I ever said he treated me like a queen. So you're saying he doesn't treat you like a queen? I'm not here to bash on my husband, which is why I said he's perfect in and of himself. It is our relationship that's lacking. Okay, you're so stupid. Your relationship isn't missing anything. You're bored. And this is something that's created by social media. I promise you, if you turn off TikTok, turn off Facebook and Insta, delete your Snap, read a book in your spare time, put effort into being happy with validation, with validation from your husband, not social media. Lots of people are in the same situation. It's the same exact reason why. And that's what I'm talking about. That's a great comment by John Chafin. Very good comment. You're bored and you're on social media. And if you guys want to fix half of your marriages and your marriage problems out there, get off social media. Take a break from it for a month or two. I'm not even kidding. Get off of it. Especially this woman. She needs to get off social media. You're correct. This woman is typical. They think they're missing something in life. All women have fantasies, and they're looking for these fantasies to come true. They just don't, because they are fantasies, and fantasy is fantasy. If this woman gets divorced, she'll have a miserable life. I hope she has a miserable life. Take the responsibility on yourself to make up whatever is lacking. Focus on what you can do and do it. But that's not how the world looks. That's not, especially social media. Women are told in all these comment sections to be like, your happiness comes first. And if you see a woman out there doing something crazy and you get bad comments like, oh, how dare her try to do good things for her. Look, when you are now a wife and a mother, if you are now a husband and a father, that's what you do. That's who you are now. And there's nothing wrong with it. But the world wants us to know different. The world wants to tell us that that's bad. That not having kids and all that that's the way to go forward. That's what social media is like permeating throughout society. And that is really dangerous, everybody. Okay, it really is. And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. Because I'm right. There is this conversation happening in every facet of social media that having kids is wrong, that having large families is wrong, that having family in general is wrong, and that yes, queening and slaying all the way to the clubs and being you and being happy is the most important thing to the earth, to society as a whole. And that's not true. The most important thing to society as a whole is family. Always has been, always will be. And when you take that away and when you destroy that and you make it like bad and you make it like a dirty, ugly thing, that's when society collapses. The strongest societies, okay, the most thriving societies that are growing strong, the most strong, are the ones who unapologetically have families. So you got in the Western culture, Canada and the US specifically, we are not having children at replacement levels. And that's because social media is pervasively destructive in Western culture. Because how dare we do the things of old? Which, again, is having families. Which we are meant to be. We are literally animals who are supposed to procreate. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, let's get to the next one.
I just got back from the lake where I didn't have any service. And now the video has over 1 million views.
She's so happy about this. She's so happy. Okay? She's just happy to be a villain. She's in her villain phase era or whatever.
Of me talking about my marriage, which is just lovely.
Well, if you don't like it, shit ass, take it down. But there's no way you will.
I'm taking a shower. But let's just say the comments have gotten more wild and wild as the time has gone on.
More honest.
There are a couple things I want to address. There's a lot of comments saying that, like, why would you talk about this on the internet? Like, go to a therapist, go to a counselor. Yep. Like, duh. We're planning on doing that.
No, you said you already did it and you didn't like it. So what is it? Now you're lying on the internet. And this shit will live on here forever. You cannot lie. There's too many people on the internet who will call out every little thing that you said you did it and you didn't like it. And you're like, well, duh, we're doing it. No, you said you did it.
Also, why, again, I think I've said this previously. Why would I not come to a place who has millions and millions of people on here with advice and recommendations.
Because they're strangers. They're not therapists. You frickin' pineapple-eating monster-faced loser baloney head. Yeah, I said it.
For my situation, who maybe have previously been in the situation, which is why I did it, which is what I asked at the end of the video, if you actually watched it all the way through. Half of the comments now don't even watch the video. They literally are like, don't do it, don't get divorced. I'm like, I'm not. I literally said I'm not.
I don't even want to hear this bullshit coming out of her face anymore. Honest question. If the roles were reversed and your husband made the original video, how would that make you feel? How would people perceive him? Right? A man doesn't do videos like this because we will sacrifice our happiness for the love of our family. We will. It doesn't matter what we feel. Who gives a shit what a dude thinks? And I'm being honest with you. No one gives a shit about a man's mental health. And about how's your... Me and my bros don't get together and be like, how's your marriage? We just don't. We're different animals. Women will get together and they'll berate or bash or love on their husbands, and they will talk about their shit. With guys will be like, yo, just look at this tile I just laid in my floor. You know, it's just, we're different beasts because we will fight to the death for our families because that is our roles inherently built into our DNA. This guy did nothing wrong, and his life is now on the internet forever without his consent, by the way. They would say, oh, he's cheating, and she liked that comment. That's weird. You don't owe anyone explanations. Shut up and go jump in the shower. She's like, oh, we had fun after. I'm sure he's definitely real excited to bang a wife that doesn't want to be with him anymore. Super. Well, I mean, actually, if I doesn't care. Here's a comment that I don't like. You were honest and people, mostly men, couldn't handle it. Because she said he's a good guy. And so what do you want men to think? You want men to be like, well, so being a good guy is no longer enough. Being a good husband, a good dad, a driven dude who provides and is good to his wife and his kids, that's no longer good enough. That's what this woman is saying. What are we supposed to do now? Now we're supposed to be the f***ing guy from the Hallmark movie? Because it doesn't f***ing exist. Like, I hate shit like that. Oh, mostly men. Well, it's directed towards men. My guy and are going through something similar. We have 2 littles and a beautiful family, but you know it's hard when he gets on my last. Shut the f*** up. I don't know your situation, but I've been married for 25 years. If you want the male point of view, I know not all women are the same, but one thing myself and many guys I know struggle with is we are not mind readers. If it bothers you, tell us. If you want it, tell us. We don't pick up the hints. Be verbal. Next, if you're aggravated or upset, eat something, a snack or a meal. The biggest one is intimacy. Don't go longer than a week without. I'm the same way. I don't know when, like, I tell, like, my wife and stuff, I don't know if people are, like, flirting with me or, like, I don't even know. I have no idea. I don't know when my wife is like, we need to be told, and we are problem solvers. And it seems like women want us men to change everything about us to accommodate them, but don't want to change anything about themselves to accommodate the way that men feel. Is that right? Because we're in a patriarchal society and the patriarchy, because that's how we did it for all these years. Now we need to change it. And I sort of get that. I sort of get that argument. I understand that to a degree. But you can't be one-sided. You want men to completely come over here and be the Hallmark dude that's like chopping wood in the back and looking handsome and doing all this shit and building houses and like loving on you and then taking you out for candlelit dinners and on walks in the park and all this kind of shit and then doing other things all the time, then being a great dad and all that stuff. I get it. Okay, and we want that for ourselves too. We, like, good men, want to be those things. But at the same time, if a man can't pick up hints and it's just the way that we work and our brains are working, we're problem solvers, and you're not willing to come even halfway a little bit, if each couple isn't willing to come halfway, it's going to fail. And so many women on the internet and social media, that's the side they take. That you need to completely capitulate to everything that I want. And I'm not going to do anything to capitulate to what you need to have a successful marriage. Instead, I'll divorce. This is really interesting to me. This is a very, very interesting thing, and that's why I'm covering it. Run, Ryan. See, Ryan looks like a decent guy. 3 kids. He's the one hauling the buggy. You know, that's a good guy right there. And people are like, run, Ryan. So she capitalizes on that. And it's like, look, we're running. See? You're a bitch. And everybody hates you for a reason, Camille. Does Ryan know you're asking TikTok advice on how to divorce? Want to switch husbands? See? There are going to be women out there now who see Ryan, and they're going to try to probably capitalize on this. And I think that you know that. Ryan, when she ain't looking, tell the kids to take a left and y'all dip. Seeing the age of your kids, this makes so much more sense. You're in the phase of transitioning from pregnant mom, roll back to finding your fun self, and you're desiring a spicy part of life again. Nope. You have kids now. That's your identity. Sorry, and I know some women don't want to hear it, some men don't want to hear that. And that's why men dip and they don't get as much flack for it, and they should. Men who dip on their children and who like leave kids in the back and take off should be you is what I'm saying. Okay. This is the thing about social media. It's like, okay, you've had kids, you had that. Now let's get back to the spicy part of hoe phasing. And it's just, this is who we are as humans. We transition from life to like, you don't get that back. We cannot go backwards. Okay. Especially when you have children. That shit is over. That life is done. And that's okay. And that's what the internet won't tell you. That's what these social media influencers won't tell you, that it's okay that we're in this new phase of life. That's why we call it, like, I'm in my hoe phase, or I'm in the, you know, my shitty era, because that's Camille's in her shitty era right now. So when you have kids and when you have a family, everything changes. You're in a new era. Girl, respectfully, your husband is hot, looks alone. That man is a catch, but so are you. Like, so I like to see two hot people together. Anyway, let's continue on, because again, she's making those videos because she's going viral.
500,000 people are now interested in my marriage. I thought I would.
So now every time she does a video, she's like, hey, look, now it's at 1.5 million people. So she's talking about the numbers because that's all that matters to her. That's all she cares about.
Some crap that happened to us back in 2019 when we went to Paris. So I was showing my husband the trend of nothing beats a good holiday, and we remembered something that happened on our trip when we went to Paris and we took our 6-month-old baby with us. Important side note to the story.
She talks too much. I don't want to hear it. Grayson Miller writes, nobody cares about your marriage or you. We care about Ryan. Justice for Ryan. Hashtag justice for Ryan. I like that. I don't know who Grayson Miller is, but good for you, Grayson. You invited people into your marriage. Good comment. He took you to Paris and you're still not happy? You literally got the most romantic gesture in all of Hollywood motion picture since the 90s and 2000. You still wanted more. Notice how he isn't saying a word? Maybe he's making plans, and we hope he is.
This is just one of many messages that my husband has gotten, asking people if they know that I posted the video. Yes, he knows.
Yes, he knows, because his freaking mom probably called him and be like, did you know your wife's making videos on the car or TikTok? On the TikTok?
And yes, he knows 2 million people have seen it now. And he doesn't care. Neither of us care. We care.
See, Camille, that's the problem. When you're speaking for your husband, you're like, we neither of us care. I promise you, Ryan cares. A real woman would never put their business out into the open for judgment. I bet he cares. You just probably just want to keep you happy. Hope he keeps his head up. No, babe, he cares. He just won't voice it. The man provides, is a good man, and you said we're still unhappy and essentially bored. That did something for him. So again, she's just speaking for him. He won't even talk to her about it. So it sounds like she's the one that's unapproachable, right? You may ever think about that? No, but it's all his fault, according to her fans. My Hosier yell, not choosing divorce 6 months ago instead of fighting. You know, it's too late. You can't put shit like this. That's cutie. Oh, see, this is. I'm so glad I did. Then why did you post that video? If you're so glad that you didn't divorce 6 months ago, why'd you post that video? I'd be so depressed if my wife, who I love, didn't respect me enough to tell me the world, to tell the world how she wants to divorce me, but won't because I'm a nice guy. But she's not really in love with me. That's the video in a nutshell. I'm not in love with my husband, but what do I do about that? My mom did this, and honestly, it ruined my relationship with her. My dad is an amazing man who never deserved the random papers being served to him after 32 years of marriage. Please consider your children in this, because no one ever seems to care about how that affects the children and the husband, too. God bless. Hey, that's a good question. Not defending her, but children should rarely ever be a reason to stay together. That's another thing that the world has fed us a steady diet of. Who cares about the kids? Kids want you to be happy instead of in a loving 2-parent relationship. Nah, I'm saying stay together for the kids. If your husband's a good man, takes care of your kids, and is not abusive in any way, and it's like if your husband is her husband, don't divorce. Okay, there's no reason for that. Do not stay in an abusive relationship. Do not stay in a relationship where he's hurting kids or being a shit-ass hole. Okay. But if you live in a normal life, most people would be like, hey, look, your happiness is more important. Your kids are going to like you when you're happy. Off. So she's like, now she's just like, I make the money. Did you for the whole marriage, or now it's just happening, which is why we're talking about what's changed.
Well, 3 million people have now watched the video that I made talking about.
I'm going to go down through all these videos eventually. I'm just covering it right now because I'm going to talk. I want to hear what you say all this because I want to destroy it.
How I feel about my relationship with my husband right now and myself, and so I just wanted to kind of give an update on here. There have been so many.
Okay, she keeps saying the same bullshit over because she's capitalizing on it. She's making money on TikTok now, and she's just doing it to make money. I hope you find someone who respects him better than this. Amen. Your experience was called the 7-year itch. You have a good husband. Finding another good guy after divorcing him and 3 kids is going to take a lot of work. She's like, I'm not getting a divorce. Oh, You might now, actually. And then it's not going to be you who does it. Here's a good comment. We are 30 years of marriage, 3 kids and 5 grandchildren. Trust me, it's a roller coaster. You said he's a good man, good husband, good father, and you will make it. You came on here to vent and learn because you love him. As years go by, you will see how close you two bond. No, I think that Ryan's going to find greener pastures, is what I think.
I'm already getting, like, slammed and dunked in my other...
And you deserve it, biatch.
...video. So, I just want to get on here and ask advice about... similar thing, but like in and of its own regard. So I posted a video talking about me and my husband.
Yeah, we know. This is a good comment. Your mistake is you asking what makes me happy when you are married. Your focus shouldn't be on yourself. It should be on your husband. And your husband should be focused on you. See, love isn't selfish. Never once in 20 years I've been with my husband have I said, what brings me joy or happiness? Well, every day I ask, what makes my husband happy? And you can't say that shit on the internet, but it's true. What she is saying is the truth. What can I do to make my wife happy? And my wife should be saying, what can I do to make my husband happy? Then you're all fucking happy. And we've never had a single issue in our marriage. Never a roommate stage. Never a question if we want to be together. We've only had 4 fights, arguments in our entire 20 years. That's crazy. 4. Last fight was in 2010, a year before our daughter was born. So stop asking what makes you happy and what makes your husband happy. And he should be asking what makes you happy. That's a great comment. Great comment. Yeah, but that's not what your video was, though. If all you said in your video was you didn't know how to ask your husband for what he wanted, it wouldn't be a problem. We would all have been there, and your video wouldn't have went viral. Your video was saying you were and still are considering divorce because of it, then wildly changed your tune when you realized the majority thought it was awful. What your marriage needs is open communication. You finding someone outside of being a mom and wife makes you happy. Hope this helps. I'm 24 in a long-term relationship, and although I'm not professional, I can honestly say that what works great for me, I don't care about their advice from somebody who was born in the 2000s. And our video counts are already going way down.
You shouldn't be posting about this or your personal things on TikTok, and everyone can have their own opinion, right? But if we're not talking about things that are actually happening in our life, or real life issues, or real things that we're going through, what the freak are we talking about?
I mean, other things. You don't have to talk about divorcing your husband because he's a good man. That's the problem here. You're missing the whole picture here. You're just pivoting. You're trying to distract. You went viral for a reason. This is not the mundane thing you think it is. You're like, why did I go viral? You went viral because you have a good husband, and you're like, I hate my good husband. And you're like trying to be like, well, what are we talking about if we're not talking about this? Not that! You can talk about anything else, and you said you did it. You had other videos. None of them went viral. This conversation went viral. So you don't get to be out there and be like aloof about it. Like, what happened? What did I do?
On social media, celebrities, politics, which politics is a different subject, but...
And if, for those of you who don't like Trump, she's a massive Trump supporter.
Like, what are we talking about? If I'm not able to get on here and talk about my real life and my real
you don't have to talk about anything. Get off the fucking internet. What do you mean? What are we? You're saying we have to do this? What are you saying right now? Get out of here.
Uncles, what do you think social media is for? The people...
Oh, throwing your husband under the bus, I guess, in your case. And here it is. Here's another comment. People are jealous that you are able to consider your own happiness as important. See? And that's it. You didn't consider anybody else's happiness but your own. And that makes you, ding, 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 selfish. Do you get that? This is the internet we live in right now. This is the world where we're like, it's all about you and your happiness. We are promoting selfishness more than we ever have in any time in human history. Do you, girl? Yes, queen, slay. You're all about you and your happiness. But when other people around you are happy and you're considering other people, you are also happy because they're doing the same thing for you. And that's the problem right here. And of course she liked that comment, not understanding what it means. Society expects women to sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. No, society expects parents to sacrifice for their children. And when you choose that path, that's the sacrifice you make, and you're willingly doing so, and you should, because it's important. But, like, I understand this comment. Like, what are you saying? As soon as you have kids, you don't ever get to have... I have the most f***ing fun of my life when I've had kids. I've had the most best memories of my life with my kids in them. This is another narrative that needs to shut the f*** up. Okay? Kids are not a burden. They're an amazing miracle. And they are your lineage. They are the continuation of you. And if you build into great kids and you do good things for these kids and you treat them well and respect them and keep their privacy and protect them, they're going to go on to be great people, and you're going to have good relationships, and you're going to be able to be a grandfather and a grandmother and do great things with your grandchildren. This is it. The narrative is that, well, as soon as you have kids, no more hoe phase, and that's it. That's what it really comes down to, is that you can't be happy with strange taint and vagina because you have kids. That's really what this is, and I don't care what anybody else says. It's that you need to be happy above all things. And that's what needs to stop. That's why this conversation is important. And it's not just, hey, my feelings matter to me. It's, hey, everybody needs to capitulate to what I want or I'm not happy. That's what she's saying. And of course she hearted it. Dumbass. And now she's starting to get some fans because now the people coming out of the woodwork who think like her she's gonna attract her tribe, which is gonna be a bunch of trashy ass people who thinks that she's what she said is right. And that is wrong. Being with a good person and not wanting to be with a good person is just selfishness, and you're stupid. Now, it's your prerogative, but you're fucking dumb, and you're not going to find happiness anywhere else because it won't exist. It will not exist, especially at your age. You're a huntress, and we love to self-sabotage. It's important to find and keep yourself busy. Take up a hobby. We will do this in business too, for a reason. So she's saying she's a huntress and they're not happy with the same guy, and that may be what it is. Okay, so I've had family and friends reach out, text me, specifically and ask, like, am I okay? Like, you're getting destroyed in the comments. And rightfully so. And, or like, I saw this video that somebody stitched. My cousin just sent me a video that somebody made on YouTube, not even on here, like, saying mean things. And they'll send you this one too. Hey, if you're watching, Camille, f*** off. You guys, you're all entitled to your opinions. You guys can say whatever you want. Thanks for your permission. We didn't need it. But most of the things don't, like, bother me. Okay, that's your opinion. Like, I live in... That's just your opinion, man. If so, I know what it's like. Our opinion is right. Your opinion is wrong. The truth, and I don't, like, really feel like getting on here and trying to dispel every single, like, lie that's in the comments, because the people who know me and the people who it matters should know the truth, now those people who know you in your public life, they should know the truth, and you shouldn't have to explain anything. But before you wanted to air your dirty laundry, and you're cool with it. What are we doing on the internet if we're not sharing our personal shit? Now you've changed your tune? Listen to yourself. Okay, listen to yourself. She's gone through every social media's, like, personalities, like, rule book in the last 4 days. It's crazy. He's like, tell everything. I should be able to say everything. It's real and raw. I'm telling my life too. Those who know me should know better and don't have to ask questions. Like, look what you're doing. Think about it. Assume the best, and if not, like, that's on them. But what does bug me? That shit's on you. That's on you. What, like, gets me and, like, hurts my soul. Oh, not your soul. Is that people, like, the ones who are commenting weird things or sending me mean messages exist in the world. It's like the you know what shouldn't exist in the world? People who have great husbands, who's good fathers, who are out there complaining about it. There are people dying. When somebody steals your purse or vandalizes your property or something, and, like, it just, like, that gut feeling of, like, why would someone do this? We're also asking the question, why would someone get on TikTok and air their dirty laundry, which isn't really dirty laundry, just being a complete selfish twat? Why would you do that? We're on the same page here, girly girl. Like, just remembering that there are such horrible people in the world. I think we would consider you a horrible person. Is that okay? Like, that's hard for me. You're that person, though. It's hard. Mm-hmm. And besides that, like... Does she have a star-shaped birthmark? That's cool. Comments, I think everyone would be lying if they were like, oh, it doesn't, like, affect me somehow. Of course it does. There are millions of people who are watching this video where I open up that I did not expect to have that. Which you could have deleted any time and been forgotten about. No one would have remembered. You'd have been, but you kept it up for a reason. You're so upset. So many people are upset with you, but, like, you kept it on the internet, when the answer is, if you really didn't like it, you could have deleted it and you would have been forgotten already. Views and tens and thousands of comments of people talking about my marriage and my life. It's called the comment section on a public video you posted. Did you not want comments? Because it sounds like you love the comments. Because every video you're like, 4 million people and 10,000 comments. And they didn't. They literally watched less than 5 minutes of me talking about it. They have zero idea of the whole story. Don't need it. You told us the whole story. We got it. Your husband's a great guy and you don't like that. Cool. You want to divorce him. Got it. You're not happy being where most people should be happy. You're selfish. We got it. You only needed 5 minutes to realize that you're a piece of shit. And it is what it is. Yeah? Well, take it down if you don't want it out there like that then. Because you are going to regret this. So, I'm fine. You're not. Like, you're really not. This girl's like, I'm fine. You're like, tears. Past videos, like,
This week has been really good for me and Ryan, and that was the whole purpose of me posting that video, was to get
That's not what it was. The whole purpose was to be selfish idiot.
Advice on our relationship, and it has brought us closer. So, for good or bad, on the internet, our relationship is better. And
just Ryan doesn't say anything. Ryan is not a good communicator. We know that. Okay? Because clearly he's not. Right? Ryan is living in his torment right now, and you're just like, he's great. If he didn't tell you about his feelings before, you think he's going to do it now? Ryan is living in a nightmare that most men would be like, oh my God, my friends are seeing this. My family's seeing this. My coworkers, he doesn't have a job anymore, but thank God, because his coworkers would be like, bro, your wife, man. Really? Like, this guy's living a nightmare. Just so you're aware, and you're just continuing to make videos about it and like being selfish. He's not going to tell you. Like, he probably loves you and he doesn't want you to leave him, and he's like walking on eggshells around you because he knows you're about to divorce him if he does something stupid. If he wants to stay in this marriage, he's got to like go along with this shit, and that's crazy. You're literally holding this guy against his will as far as I'm concerned.
It's also taught me a lot about the people who are around me and who
hearing that
actually cares.
You hearing that
about me?
You hearing that? That's important. Don't miss this. So she's getting flamed by probably a lot of her friends and family. Probably lost some friends, and she should, right? She's getting flamed by his friends are probably like, I don't want to go to your house anymore. If she has friends that they share husbands and wives with, not that way, you know what I mean? But like, if they have friends who they are friends with husbands and wives, those husbands are probably like, I don't want you hanging out with her anymore. I don't want you like getting that shit in your brain, right? They probably lost some friends, and his side of the family, if I was his brother, or if I was on his side of the family, I'd be like, bro, check that shit, buddy. I would not be on her side. Who would take her side on this, especially on the side of the family? Nobody would, especially if they know that Ryan's a good guy. Like, imagine there's a good guy just living his life and he's just a quieter guy. He may not express his emotions as much as you'd like to, but he's still a good guy, and there are people that exist like that. You knew that when you married him, by the way, probably, right? Not like he was a great communicator before and you expected to change, right? But he's a good guy, and there's silent, strong, good guys out there, and those people have the most loyal friends, I promise you. Because my best friends, they are the most silent, strong types ever. My buddy, the giant Frenchman, is a strong, like, he would give you anything, right? And he would never boast about it. Never. Okay, and he's one of the most strong, silent father type figures. He's an amazing dude. And if anybody ever hurt that guy, you want to be fisticuffs, because you're like, why would you hurt this guy? It's like punching a Labrador. It's like punching an infant in the face. That's the problem here. Do you understand that? The people on Ryan's side, especially his family and his friends, are all saying that he's a good guy, and you're just out here capitalizing on being a bitch towards him. And so you're going to lose that, and you should. Man, I'm upset about this.
And my feelings and our relationship, and who doesn't.
Holy shit. The fucking audacity of this woman, right? The just absolute zero humility. And now we're all kind of seeing it, right? Now you're picking it up with me. You're the fucking problem, Camille.
It's been quite an interesting week. And
I'm still gonna capitalize on it.
Just wanted to say, like, people online are so mean.
Yeah, you're mean. You're a mean person to your husband. You're a bitch.
There's absolutely there's no excuse for going on someone's video or page or anything.
Mm-hmm. And is there an excuse for throwing a good man down the frickin' mountainside? Ryan, don't walk near stairs with your wife, especially like concrete ones that are, let her go first.
Intentionally rude.
I hope you have a life insurance plan. Get that shit checked.
And if you're like, the truth is not rude. No, I'm talking about the people who are derogatory.
Hey, welcome to the internet, Camille. You wanted to be here, right? You know that exists on here. I'm talking about the people that are rude. Welcome to the... If you don't like it, leave the f***ing doors right there. Get out of here. Come on. Some people have skipped that we listen and we don't judge. No, we judge. We can judge. That's the best part about the internet. As time goes on, you will realize this was a huge mistake. I hope all is well in the end. No, I hope that all is well in Ryan's world. I just feel bad for your husband. He didn't deserve this, and I'm sure he's getting the last end of the shtick. The last end of the stick. The shitty end of the stick. Use a resource you had at the time. No, TikTok is not a resource, folks. You're a very selfish woman. There are thousands of women who would trade places with you. When you make a video trashing a good man, don't expect to be celebrated. Get over yourself. I hope he finds happiness with a better woman that will appreciate. High five. You're a 2 tops, not even a 10. Get over yourself. Nah, she's pretty. I'll give you that. And she knows she's not a tutu. That's the problem. Maybe she's getting attention, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe there's some outside attention starting to happen and she's like, oh, I could be happier. That's what I'm thinking is happening, right? I'm thinking she's getting some attention. Do pay attention to the haters. Block them. I think maybe say don't pay attention to the haters. Are you a Gemini by chance? Wow. As a man, I went through this bullshit. My ex said vows, which said no matter what, whether we were poor, sick, or unhappy, we were in this together. Same shtick. I'm a good man. She loves me, but something is missing. So I'm post 5 years of a shipwreck, and our kids live out of a suitcase. That's so sad. Again, no one's talking about the kids and how they're going to suffer this, and they will.
This is also such a funny double standard to me.
I'm here because a woman stitched your video and destroyed you. What did you expect? You said he's everything you want, but it's not enough for you, and you yourself have no idea what's missing. Get over it.
The internet space is that the reason why people are mad.
Oh, tell us, please.
About my video.
Tell us why we're mad.
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but one is that like I shouldn't be talking about it on the internet because it's hurting.
That's true. That's true.
Husband, right? Like this moral code of like I shouldn't talk about things that are hard for me because it's like gonna hurt somebody else, and I get that.
Yeah, you're selfish.
But then they get on and stitch my video and say horrible, rude things about me. So I'm like, if
yeah, but you deserve it. Your husband didn't.
Your moral code is that I shouldn't be talking about my relationship online because I could hurt my husband or hurt my kids or hurt people. Mm-hmm. But it's okay for you to get on and stitch my video and say mean and hurtful things. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't like make sense.
No. You were looking for advice. You were looking for people to comment. You asked people to do so. You went viral for all the wrong reasons, and you're going to feel it. Probably, and your kids are going to feel it, and your husband's going to feel it. You did it against his will. I'm sure you asked him, hey, do you mind if I tell the internet I was about to divorce you? Did you ask him that? Did you ask your kids, hey, mommy's about to say some stupid bullshit on the internet. You cool with it? Right? No. You don't get to be like, oh, it's like everybody who calls me the secondary exploiter of children. So fucking stupid, this argument. I mean, if you don't like it, why would you do it? No. You get the comments. We get to comment on what you put out there because everybody needs to know what an asshole you are. And that's an important, the more you know. Two things. One, you chose to put yourself on social media and you opened yourself up to criticism and you were inevitably going to find here. Your husband did not. Amen. The fact that you can't see why it's way worse for you to drag your husband across the coals than it is for random internet strangers to do the same thing to you is probably the big part of why your marriage is struggling. Not a double standard. You have a duty to protect the integrity of your marriage and shield your spouse. Strangers on the internet don't know you anything. I like that there is a little bit more positive, but as we go, it's still an unrelenting negativity, and it should be. It really should be. Look, you opened a door and everybody's invited to the party. Now you're mad. Get out of the house. And apparently she's a Jesus follower. People are not jealous. See, again, this comment, this is what's wrong with the internet. People are jealous. If you want to leave him, then do what's best for you. Who gives a shit about your husband and your kids? You don't have to stay with someone if your gut is telling you to leave, then leave. Don't feel emotional bond with nice guys, so don't date them. She married one for a decade, you asshole! I like kind men, soulful and passionate men. We just like what we like, and it's just how it is. So why the f*** would you marry them then? Don't be so stupid. Sorry about all the swear words. To equate the loyalty and respect you should have for your husband to the respect that strangers should have is crazy. But anything to deduct the fact that you're dead wrong and you're betraying that man. You don't care because that's what you... this is just getting started. It's just ramping up. Because if you go to TikTok, or if you, Camille, people are going to be covering this. I found this on X. It's on X. That's what's going on with Camille Wight. And we don't like Camille Wight on these parts of the internet. Okay? But the conversation isn't really about Camille, and it sort of is, but she sparked this comment or this conversation that I've been having in my head about for long on this channel about how what you watch on the internet really matters. And if you're inundating yourself with fake shit that doesn't exist, you're going to think it exists because they tell you it exists and they're showing their real and raw life. It's not. Again, this is the internet. I think social media has destroyed more marriages than anything else because women, especially women who are so easily influenced by these other women to want what they have. These guys aren't out there being like, I want that guy's life. Well, unless he's got like, a nice boat and shit. But you know what I mean? It's different. Men covet what dudes have, like golf carts and shit. And like women covet another woman's life and husband and shit like that. And so when they're being shown something, they think they deserve it. And I mean, I'm not saying you don't deserve a good life. Everybody does, right? But they're being shown something that is fake. And we're having these comments and your happiness is all that matters, regardless if you have kids and husbands and all that kind of stuff. And that is the purveying message that is being literally just permeated through like a toxic cancer through our society. And you can't argue with that. That is exactly what is happening. Just go look on any comment about any woman talking about her husband or her marriage or whatever the case may be, even if it's just a joke, even if they're doing a prank or something like that. Even if it's a joke about how marriage is different or like how a guy is weird and, you know, the stereotypical parts of marriage, go look at those comments. Okay? This is a comment. We are living in a world where it is okay to be selfish now, and it is destroying families, it's destroying society. That's all there is to it. Camille opened up freaking Pandora's box, and it's an important conversation, and we should have it, and we should get psychologists and shit on this and start talking about how this is a mental illness now. Camille, you are mentally ill. Go get help. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. I know you're watching this, Camille, because you're pretty low. You're not really a big influencer on here. And you're watching everything, and I hope you're watching this. Hope your family's watching this. Hope Ryan's watching this. Ryan, if you're watching this, I know you're probably a guy who wants to keep everybody happy because that's the type of guy you probably are, right? You're not looking at divorce and not doing that shit. But let me tell you something, buddy. Look deeper, okay? Read text messages, figure it out, because some shit's going on, buddy, and you deserve better. You deserve better, not Camille. You do, okay? And it sucks that you've got kids in this. But if your wife is out there being this type in the streets, I guarantee some shit's going on. Okay? I need you to look deeper, Ryan. I need you to fight for your happiness and your kids' happiness and keep them safe. Needless to say, I didn't even talk about Camille and her Instagram and how she completely exploits her children, which we'll get to, because I'm going to be following this case real close. Everybody, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And so I had to do this one because it's really important. It's a good conversation. I hope you have an amazing time. You're incredible and valuable. Your butt looks good in those pants and that sundress and stuff or whatever. Anyway, I'll see you when I see you.